Broadcasting live from the Jersey Shore, it's Coach Kev on the Damage 365 Radio Network.
Welcome back, everybody, to another episode of Damage 365 Radio. This is a specially scheduled program, episode number 5, where we'll be covering the recaps of Friday night's Valkyrie's Women Professional Wrestling in South Jersey, along with Saturday's Warriors of Wrestling Saturday night in Staten Island, New York. And we will play for you the special sit-down one-on-one interview that we had with former WWE superstar and former NXT trainer Eugene, also known as Nick Dinsmore, and that interview was courtesy of ESS Promotions. So I want to welcome you, everybody. I am Coach Kev, your host for this evening, and we'll be joined by a special co-host for today. He is a Valkyrie Women's Professional Wrestling manager as well as a Warriors of Wrestling wrestler. He is Jay George, so he will be part of the show today. But without further ado, we want to get some birthday shout-outs, and we'll jump right into the program. Birthday shout-outs we like to get out there, ladies and gentlemen. We like to wish a happy birthday to a good friend of mine. He is the commissioner of the Alumni Softball League. It is his 60th birthday. Happy birthday to Stu Pfeffer, and happy birthday to MZP Promotions Dave Mooch. Happy birthday to both of you and anybody else that's celebrating their birthday this week, along with Damage 365.
Announcement has been paid for by the New World Order.
Hello, ladies. The Big Valboski here, and you're listening to Damage 365 Radio.
You're listening to Damage 365 Radio, and this is ECW Original, the Angry Amish Warrior Roadkill.
Chickens.
And we're back, ladies and gentlemen, and at this time I am joined by the aforementioned wrestler and manager from Valkyrie and Warriors of Wrestling, Jay George. Welcome to the show, Jay.
Hey, how's everything going?
Okay, the reason why I figured it would be great to have you on the show is that it's just a rare thing where you were part of both shows, Valkyrie on Friday and Warriors of Wrestling on Saturday, so you kind of had the first knowledge and experience of being there and seeing everything that went on. So when we cover these matches, we get a little insight from you and some opinions about how these matches went. First, let's cover match number 1 that saw Deonna Purrazzo in her Valkyrie debut defeat Jennifer Cruz with a sort of a roll-up type pin. So, what was your opinion on the rookie Deonna Purrazzo?
She's definitely working hard, and she had a busy weekend because she actually had an appearance at the Royal Rumble. She's one of the Rosebuds, so
yes.
Good on her. She has a good trainer. I know she comes from good stock, and I actually rode in to the venue with Jen Cruz, and I got kind of like a first-hand knowledge of where her head was at for this match and what she wanted to accomplish. And I think both these players went out there and they did the best that they could. And of course, Deanna's still learning, and she can always improve. And it's just, it's one of those things. She's got to keep working, and like I said, she's got a good trainer, so she'll definitely get there.
I agree. She's up and coming, very young, very still green, as they would say in the industry, but you can see she's made great strides in her ability. I've seen her at D2W and now at Valkyrie, and every match I've seen, she's gotten better and better. Another woman that's gotten better and better, Bonesaw Jessie Brooks, the baddest female wrestler on the planet, defeated the very experienced Renee Michelle, and very easily, as she put her down finally with some sort of like a fall away slamplex. It was kind of a fall away slam into a suplex, but
that was actually one of Bonesaw's signature maneuvers, T-bone suplex.
Now, how do you feel about Bonesaw Jessie Brooks? I mean, we saw what happened at the end of the bout with her and Casey Carlisle. We'll get into that a little later, but how do you see the future for Bonesaw Jessie Brooks?
Brother, let me tell you, man. Let me tell you a story. I have actually, on a couple of occasions, have trained with Jessie Brooks, and I've had the unfortunate task of having to be her practice dummy while she worked on her strikes, and she is legit. And when they call her the baddest woman on the planet, that's a shoot. And not only that, but you also have her with Julius Smokes. And I don't know, what did you think of Julius Smokes? Because this guy, he's 100 miles an hour. This guy's awesome, and I think they make a great pairing.
And she can learn a lot from him. Him being a former ROH star, he knows what he's doing in between those ropes. So it can only help her career.
Yeah, he's awesome, man. And those two really complement each other. And I think that's actually kind of like almost like a recurring theme that you'll see there on the rest of the cards in terms of these girls when they get paired up with managers. And it's a different dynamic. Usually you see the girls managing the guys on these shows, but since this is a women's promotion, you have the guys on the outside of the ring this time.
Yep.
What do you think about that dynamic?
It's different. Took a little time to kind of get used to it. I'm used to kind of seeing one women's match within a male card, but to have an all-female card where the guys on the outside looking in, it's definitely different.
Yeah.
So next match, speaking about managers, something I think you were involved a little bit too much, for my opinion. La Rosa Negra defeated Aja Pereira with a off the top rope frog splash, and
how spectacular! Come on, how spectacular was that? She came almost all the way across the ring with that splash. I thought it was a thing of beauty.
The frog splash was great. I mean, she did literally go about 75% of the ways across the ring. Aja Pereira got into that situation from a little outside interference with you and another martini drinking buddy of yours.
We have to get our hands dirty to make sure Rosa, climbs to the top here. And I should be more careful because I got suspended from the first Valkyrie show. I got a little too much. I got rambunctious. I put my hand on one of the girls at the first show, and that caused me suspension for several months. But now we're back, and look, our main directive is to, we got to get this girl on top of things, and we have great. When you have competition like Casey Carlisle, Mr. Spellmont, Bonesaw Brooks, you need to up the numbers game. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. And we went into intermission at that point, and I definitely needed a breath of air after watching you and La Rosa Negra twerking in the middle of the ring.
The rock stars, man. We have, again, when we talk about, how Brooks and Smokes complement each other, that's just something me and Rosa just have kind of like this unspoken thing about us where we just know... We know which way we're going, and we just complement each other perfectly. I mean, we have that Caribbean connection, and she's got the energy, and I try to do my best to match up her energy,
Absolutely. And we came back from intermission, and a very lopsided affair. So Nyla the Destroyer, absolutely tear apart Ashley America, finishing her off with a power bomb, and then added a second power bomb to the request of the WOW corner that was in the crowd cheering her on.
Poor Ashley America, man. And no, I'll tell you, man, one of the highlights of my weekend there was actually getting to meet Ashley America. She's new, Tyler Deanna. She's been training for a couple of years, but she's only now starting to get her footing in terms of getting matches. And she didn't have a good showing here tonight, obviously with Tyler, but she took her beating well. And Ashley America, I'm going to say keep an eye on her. Obviously, Nyla the Destroyer. How can you not keep your eye on her? She's the biggest, baddest thing there, and keep your eye on Ashley America though, because she's got something. I know she did a little promo. What did you think of her presentation?
I was, I'm not going to sit here and say, I was happy about the comments she made that, wrestling's a guy sport and the women should kind of stay out of it, and I would say Sensational Sherry's probably rolling over in her grave right now.
She's different, man. She's one of those girls who, like I said, she really wants to be there. She's really going to work on that, and she wants to get a message across. And she's not going to stop. I don't think Valkyrie the Destroyer is going to stop her from getting that message across. And obviously, also Top Shelf Troy Nelson got involved as well too before the match.
Mm-hmm. And one of the next matches we had was one of the most experienced female wrestlers, not only in the part of the promotion, but probably in the world. Sumi Sakai defeated the superstar Nikki Adams in a very long match, but it was finally put away with a cross-arm breaker, kind of like Alberto Del Rio style. But Sumi Sakai was victorious.
Again, we're only going to get the best here at Valkyrie's Women's Wrestling, and Sumi Sakai is definitely one of the top-tier talents, not just in the U.S., but in the entire world. And, it was an enjoyable match.
It was, and she showed an array of moves. Some of them, you can see that she's had her experience overseas and brought it over here to the States, but she's a very accomplished young lady in the ring, and hopefully superstar Nikki Adams learned something from that in her young career. Another young wrestler from Valkyrie, Devienne, she defeated Miss Dyslexia when she kind of threw her down in a reverse neck breaker into a leg drop, which was very, very impressive.
Yeah, Miss Dyslexia, I saw, I tried to talk to her a little bit in the back, and she's definitely a very peculiar person. And you gotta think outside the box when you're gonna try to put a strategy against her. And you had a kind of like a north versus south thing there. Miss Dyslexia from down south, and Divine, of course, up from Boston, representing the Boston crew here tonight.
And in the main event, and one of the most, I would say, physical female matches I have ever seen. And when I mean vicious, I mean suplexes and body slams onto the bleachers, chairs, loading dock gates, wooden floor, concrete walls. You name it, they bounced themselves off of it. But when push came to shove, and after a double arm suplex off the top rope, Casey Carlisle defeated Mistress Belmont.
These girls, they there with the mindset of absolutely stealing the show, giving the fans something to remember them by, and they certainly did that.
And then after the match, this was we mentioned before. After Casey, kind of did her thing, kind of ran her mouth a little bit about being still being the champion and the Queen of Valkyrie. Bonesaw Jesse Brooks strolled down to the ring, confronted Casey.